Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz. You probably hate the intro by now. You've probably seen it a million times, but here it is. And today's a very happy day for me, a very exciting day, and I'm looking forward to bringing this straight to you as some good news, because it is great news. It's a tale of a boy who's turning into a man with the leadership values and proven track record from peers that have chosen him for so many different things at the moment. All he needs to do is hold his nerve to do the work as he completes school, and he's just changed his life basically forever. All it needs now is some ink on some paper, and this young lad, this boy, he'll be turned into a man. Hey, the first comment today we've got is from Mark Pullman. I've been watching your content for a week now, and I'll put my name and details down today for the at the Careers Expo. Fantastic to hear, Mark. Thank you for the information. It answers every question I had. Amazing. Glad to be of service. And believe me, the information I have is still valid and will be in another 10 years from now, because human resources are often led by people that have never actually really done the role. So, not Harry on Milo. Congratulations, Mark. Good to see the group looking after each other. What it's all about. We've got Scooby Fan here, WSP. G'day everyone from Jake. Jake just sent me some photos today, some amazing images of where he trains, and it was great to see. We've got Daniel Cherry up there. What's up, team? Been a while. Glad to be back. Daniel Cherry, it's great to have you here. It's always a pleasure. So much good news. Okay, whether it be political. Okay, the appointment today of one of the youngest VPs for the future in the US, JD Vance, a man from Ohio. He's from the same area as our beloved Ed B and Ed B3. Not to mention Chantel and their puppy as well. Guys and gals, there is so many opportunities for you today in this lifetime if you are Gen Z, if you just choose not to listen to the nihilistic negative bullshit that's coming out, and you believe that the world is a great place, not a bad place, and where you see an opportunity for growth, where you can your flag in the ground and potentially make the place better, you're going to have a prosperous, amazing career where all of the good information is already down and ready and waiting to mentor you with no thanks even required. It's amazing. It really is. We're just waiting for some people to get on. It's Tuesday, which makes it Army Reserve Day. Army Reserve Day is going to be fairly quiet because almost everyone's away on Austral Shield at the moment. But send us a g'day in the comments there, and let's find out what's going on before we go into the video that, although it was already filmed, I wasn't able to do anything. It's school holidays. I can't even mention this young man's name because of how weird and backwards we are with our commanders that are getting paid nearly $1 million all over the TV for the wrong reasons, while the guy that graduates is not allowed to beat his chest in victory for what he's accomplished over these many grueling periods of mentorship, failure, rebuilding, repick up, and graduation. Yeah. But anyway, legendary cadet. We're going to be talking about cadets tonight, mate. Hey, I'm here, and I've only been watching for like a few weeks. After watching some of your streams, I've been very inspired, and I've recently started my application a week ago going infantry. Legendary cadet, that's fantastic. Infantry is an ever-changing animal, which, although you can take the beating heart of the infantry soldier in 2024, you could put the same heart into the Anzac legend of 1915, or even previous that to the Boer War. The procedures change, the uniforms change, the weapons change, but the heart of the warrior and the mind of the warrior and the ethos does not. Okay, and we can find that through every podcast you ever listen to. Let us know, what podcast do you listen to? And tell me what quality it is coming across, because for some reason, with 4K cameras, okay, with the best mics you can get, pretty much with the stereo sound as well, it seems like our streams just cannot get ahead of the curve. I don't know what's going on with it, and so I really appreciate what you do to listen. Okay, tonight, let's talk about it. What name shall we give this gentleman we're going to be talking about for the next 40 minutes? Drop a name down there in comments of who you want me to refer to this person. You feel like we're a little bit more, what would we say, connected to this guy. Zero Limits with Matty Morris. Excellent. Zero Limits podcast. Modern Medics podcast are both very good as well. Yep, absolutely. Matty is an amazing man. And when you meet the guy, he is a giant. I should know. I bought him breakfast. And I'm on 154 is the episode about Kaz. But he's a lovely guy, but he is so calm. Yeah, he is so calm and he makes you feel so welcome. He's a really good guy. No ego involved there, yet he's got plenty of capability. Clubby Ol. I passed and dropped out of year 10 and now I'm a plumber, okay? If I apply when I finish my third year, do I still have a good chance of making infantry? Yeah, well, you should. They prefer you to finish what you start. But in saying that, mate, they might ask you for a bridging course. They might say that the 3 years that you've done are good. Do the at the moment also do the they don't like to call it an IQ test, the aptitude test, and from there they might make a captain's call on that. So what I'd say is I'd go in there. Don't beat around the bush. Go in there as soon as possible. Get the ball rolling. You're on their paperwork, and you can say, "Hey, I've got this to go until I'm able to actually commit myself to my military journey." But I'd say start early so you get the answers and know where you can temper the metal to get yourself in. Zalak, okay, I usually watch the live once they're over. Glad to catch you live. Well, it's great to have you here, mate. It's great to have you here. Someone's got to do it. We can't all be putting out 10-minute, highly edited videos. Not because it doesn't work, and there's only very, very limited amount of media that the Australian Army has on it because of the OPSEC security, which goes way overboard. But it takes a long time, and I don't think it gives the context sometimes of the people behind the camera who are trying to tell you from their heart, from their mind, that you can do it or you can't do it based on this, that, or the other. You deserve the truth, or at least some guidelines. Okay. What else we got here? Kaz, have you spoken about the Russian girl in the army who's up for espionage charges? Look, I sort of touched on it. I think a lot of it's a crock of shit. I reckon she's a dumb chick, who tried to do a money grab. I don't think there's any possibility she has any information that is value to anyone. We are not currently in an active Cold War or conflict against anyone. We're not. So the information that normally makes a difference is information that is very time sensitive to the moment. Any equipment, anything, they already know that, But she made a dumb move of going over and thinking she could get paid and probably got laughed at by the Russians. So they said, "Can you get this dickhead out of here? She's wasting our time." And that's how she got caught. And sometimes you've got to choke a monkey, okay, or a rooster to teach a monkey. Yeah. Hey, Jen from up north. How you going, mate? Hope life's going well for you and the family. The temperature's probably beautiful for a coffee and a daytime walk at the moment, and I hope you're doing both. Hey, Kaz, would you recommend SASR, and do you have any tips for selection? Hot Sauce. I love the name. I love the way you've rebranded it too. Look, I would totally recommend SASR, and they absolutely need some people now. I think they've been gutted because of the previous Chief of the Defence Force, what he's done to damage the name of the Special Air Service Regiment. Some people would argue they've damaged their own name, whether it be for naming names or whether it be for actions. But you know what? You're never going to know the truth, and there's going to be biases, and that should have stayed behind closed doors. It should have stayed behind a paywall of those that were military uniform members that were also cleared to top secret in a what do you call it? What do I call it? In the court case, I'm getting stuck on my words. Okay, it should have been kept behind closed doors where he was able to communicate and talk the way soldiers do to soldiers who know what they're hearing. Court-martial is what I was getting at. You want the truth? Yep. You can't handle the truth. Yeah, they can't handle the truth because the truth would come back and hit him in the face that maybe there was a little bit of, hey, why don't you go out and do things? How about you go and win this war? And when you win the war, you've got to fight the way the wolf fights. Yep. It's the guy on the ground that should make the rules, not the officer who's safe in a tent that tells him to go and fight. Isaac, here for a long time. It's great to be back. Great to have you back. Any tips for selection? Mate, how long is a piece of string? You know, my tip for selection is go and join the Royal Australian Regiment. Go and learn how to hunt men in the Royal Australian Regiment. And then when you see how hard that is, see, are you, when surrounded by people that are also like-minded, are you a standout? Do you need more? Are you capable of more? And when that happens and you understand weapons, when you understand language, when you understand the acronyms, understand the tactics, and have some courses, preferably from support company, whether that be snipers or recon or heavy weapons or even junior leadership course, so that you can get some experience under your belt there, then I'd say go and have a crack, mate. Yep, give yourself the best chance of passing. That's what I'd say. Here we go. Jason, your compassion and content regarding the Australian Army is second to none. Proud dad of a currently serving soldier. Jason Daniels, mate, thank you very much, mate. There's a lot of Daniels in the Army, as a matter of fact. Some are white and some are black. All the best to your son, and as a proud serving dad, you know, well done, mate. And that is absolute proof that when you join the military, you are but one of a group of people. You are simply the tip of the iceberg and group of people and friends that are so proud to have you serving them and their nation. Our country is getting split apart like America is at the moment, you know, and I can't believe those that are nihilistic, that only want bad for their own country and believe that every country, every race, every culture is better than the one they actually are themselves. I don't understand it. But my job is just to wear a uniform and protect them either way. So press the like button, you know. Every time you press a like button, you kill a lefty's ideas. Anyway, we're going to get on to what we're here to talk about tonight after this question from T. Hey, Kaz T, you haven't commented, but it's okay. Man of short words, but when you do, you speak. Sure if you remember me, but spoke a few months back about joining. Now I'm about to leave ITs and head to my unit in Brisbane. Well done. Nutsu cow. Great. Let us know one thing that you wish you had known before you joined the military. Or is it something I've already covered? Who knows? Press the like button if you can, team. Audio's off? No. Really? No one else has said it's off? Okay, your audio is off. Team, is my audio on or off? Up or down? Hurry up. Thumbs up or down? Undiscovered, are you playing games with me? Okay, it's fine. Right, so Undiscovered, it seems like your audio is off, mate, by the sound of it. Colourblind Sally, Greg Stratton, absolutely no service for a combat cause for those that are colourblind. And there is big reasons for that, mate. And a lot of that is to do with nighttime, with night vision equipment, with reading maps, the contours, Okay, so I know what's going on there. Maybe that's that girl from Brisbane who's tried to take us down. Okay, let's talk. G'day, Love Sharma. How you going, mate? And we've got Venom here as well, getting ready to go and diddy meow from the village. Okay, let's get to what we're going to talk about, because I know that Cassie loves this sort of stuff too. Her son is also in the army. All right. Okay, so what happened a few days ago, there was a young fella. You know, I've been talking to him for a long time. And when he first spoke to me about wanting to go to OSB and he was 17 years old, Officer Selection Board, I thought, okay, of course you do. Righto. Now, the first question I'm going to ask when I prepare people, and I've got a 99% pass rate with people that go to OSB. I've only got one person that ever failed. So get on to Patreon now. Okay, whether you want to be an enlisted soldier or whether you want to be a officer, you know, you need to get on here and have the conversations with me so you and I can speak with context for you, red phone, bat phone, get it done. Anyway, so this guy talks to me and he says he's got leadership, and I thought, of course you have. And we'll call him Jake for now. Okay, well, what's some examples of this? And he goes, okay, well, I'm the school captain. And I went, excellent. Okay, that's a pretty good sign. And he goes, but I'm also the basketball captain, and I'm also the cricket captain. And he's also 6'5". And I went, at 17 years old. Holy shit, let's keep talking. And then he started speaking about his love of history as well. We realigned him with some of the people that he was going to use for his examples on who inspires him, because they were people he knew, not necessarily people who inspired him. And I believe he even said Albanese was one of them. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't bring that name up. You're low on the expectation list if you pick that. Wait a second. Got someone coming through. Okay. Yeah, no, we're better now. So I've got a couple of military people that let me know what's going on, that where there's some problems in the background, etc. Thank you very much for that. So this guy was getting ready for his officer selection board, 17 years old. He goes off to do that. And the next thing I know, yep, I passed. I've been selected. And all I need to do is finish my ATAR with a score of 85 by the end of the January, and I'm going in January. So he'll still be 17. He won't be 18 yet, not old enough to vape, not old enough to vote. And he's about to go in. And I had to actually at one stage shut him up for a second and say, mate, I'm going to explain something to you, Gen Z, that you need to hear. Press like. Come on, guys. It's that fucking easy. Let's get to 17 at least. I feel like I do all the work here, team. What's going on? Okay. So I said to this bloke, you couldn't possibly understand what you've done for yourself, for your family, for your future. And I'm going to explain that now, because how could you possibly know unless you've walked the ground? I've walked the ground. I've been the guy in the mud. I've been the guy overseas. I've been the guy with the blood on his hands. I've been the guy with the girls. I've been the guy with the fast cars. I've spent fortunes. I've been around mistakes. I've been around people that have lost their life. You know, but this is 17-year-old, you know, you can't call yourself a man at 17. You know, and maybe you could at Gallipoli, maybe you can at the moment. Some of the guys in Ukraine, absolutely. Maybe some of the guys that were plumbers and started doing it from 14. Okay, I get it. But he's still at high school. You're not a man when you're at high school. So I just explained to him, in Australia, we have this thing where we hear people saying our education should be free. And in the USA, our education should be free. Education should not be free. If it's free, people won't turn up, they won't appreciate it, you know, and they won't do very well at it. You know, you need to have a paywall to get in. Now, the paywall for this young bloke is he's signed on for a contract of at least 6 years. So at least 6 years of stability. You know, it's not going to be easy. He's going to have to goddamn work hard. But this is what he gets with one signature as a 17-year-old that you will not get anywhere as a civilian. Let's go through it. A fully paid education versus an education of HEX. So not only is it going to be free, he's getting paid a great wage as a 17-year-old to go to the Australian Defence Force Academy and he's going to be doing an education, getting a full degree on engineering, civil engineering, I believe he's doing. Now, that would cost a fortune if you went to go and do that as part of STEM, and you were paying for that yourself. But what's more is, where does the money come from for that degree? It comes from working in a coffee shop. It comes from parents. These things cause distractions, expectations along the way, and you lone wolf the entire time. This kid is going to an academy, purpose-built for success in so many things, and I'll continue the list. Already he's way ahead of the ball. This is $1 million contract, 17 years old. He will have not teachers, he will have instructors, but he'll also have mentors with a hand up his ass telling him, we need more. You need to do more. You have no excuses. You have to go somewhere to earn money for this. Also, on top of that, your food is made. You don't have to cook it yourself. It's supplied. Okay, your accommodation is supplied. Could you imagine how much that costs to live in a university? Some of you probably already know. Free. Oh, well, they'll take a token board out of his pay. All right. From there, he's going to be mentored probably monthly on how he's going on his ADFA course, through people and counselors and case managers that will sit on his case to make sure that he stays in the revs rate to make himself the best version of himself, with the expectation of the Australian Army that follows, and the taxpayer, which is you. Right. He's going to have a guaranteed career, unlike most people that go to university. He's already walking into a career. He'll walk into RMC, the Royal Military College at Duntroon, and then from there he'll do his year training, as he starts to complete all of his officer training. Well, from there, highly paid. Sport will be a major part of his weekly requirements, whether that be PT or representation at the academy. What do I think of the academy? I'm not a big fan of people getting a university degree unless it's continued on into their military service. Otherwise, what are you going to need a degree for? Is that saying that your IQ doesn't go up? Okay, you get smarter in a lane. Okay, what happens is they manage to get a piece of rope around the stallion's neck, and in some ways try to tame it, or at least give it some direction. So he'll have sport. That's something you won't get at any university normally, or you will. But if you hurt yourself, you won't be getting the free medical or the free dental that comes with it, will you? Uniforms and dress and bearing will always be of a high standard. Okay, that's going to be there. He's also going to be nurtured in gentrification, with what clothes to wear, how to communicate in public, no open affection in front of other people, no fraternisation with people that you're working with, not openly anyway. And I definitely recommend, do not have a girlfriend from ADFA. Don't do it. It only causes problems. So he's not going to have distractions. There's no one walking in to his high tier education yelling out Black Lives Matter, or things to do with campus coming in there to even brainwash them. Free everything, the facilities, swimming pools, gymnasiums, all of these things you'd also be paying for are going to be there aplenty, plus lead PT sessions. He's going to have stability. Right? All of these things to get him past the dumb years that we have as men when we're younger. Yep. Fitness, yep. Reporting and tracking through the entire time, knowing that he's going to be then in charge of Australian enlisted volunteers, some of the best people in Australia, who are all about the tribe. All of these things are coming to him with high pay, with promotion, with expectation. This kid is basically about to sign $1 million contract, and we should be so proud of him. And I don't think he's ever going to understand just how important this moment is until one day he'll be looking back and realize, holy shit, I can't believe I was nervous to sign on for 6 years to get a King's Commission that will go onto any resume he ever has in leadership. This kid's on fire. All he has to do is sign that piece of paper, and then from there, hold on. where are we? Where are we? Jungle BJJ time. You fit the job doesn't fit through. You know your capabilities when you test them, so have a crack. Absolutely. God bless anyone who has a crack, boys. Yep. Because too often these days we hear about people that are applauding themselves for what they're going to do in the future rather than the deeds that they've already done. So, yeah, make sure you actually get the deeds under your belt before you start to applaud yourself. Expert Badass. G'day, Kaz. Found your channel this week, and it's been a massive help. It's hard to find, isn't it? I got my defence interview on Friday and been studying like crazy. Thank you. Don't mind the username. Made this account when I was 14. Expert Badass. There's nothing wrong with that name, mate. Just live up to it. That's all. My first ever Hotmail account was Hot Aussie Kaz, but now I've got an arm like a prawn's rear leg, and can't really say I'd recommend me to the girls myself. Kane Higgins, g'day from up north there, Kane. How you going, mate? Hope your life is doing well. I can't believe this kid, just how, and we won't call it luck because he's made his own luck. He's gone, he's applied, how hard has he had to work to be the captain of 3 different teams where he's been chosen by his peers? It's incredible. Being 6'5" probably helps at the canteen line at high school, to tell you the truth. Delta Bravo. Went through Kapooka in the 90s. Yep, so did I. Recently applied to get back as a Choco officer. Okay. HQ says need to go to Kapooka again. Any differences OC versus Digger? How about 90s versus today? There's a massive difference in the quality control that happens now as opposed to 1990s. The 1990s was brutal, but that's also because in many ways we're in a peacetime army back then, just like we are now. But from the early 90s that it was not really co-ed. So men were instructed by men. There was, we move at the speed of the fattest and we move at the speed of the slowest. And sadly, ladies, now that they've joined us, are the fattest and they are the slowest 100% of the time. There's some great girls out there that are really defying how easy they could have a career if they wanted. And some of them are working very, very goddamn hard to dispel the myth, like the Secret Service agent that got sacked for Donald Trump's team in the last day or so, that there's girls that are there for the right reason, that love their father, that love the Anzacs, as much as what any man does. So I applaud anyone, and I always remember sometimes to pull up what my thoughts are at times. Remember, people are volunteers, and volunteers do deserve respect. Bando Lee, mate, my name is Kaz. I'm currently training for Kapooka. Hey, your name is Kaz. I thought it was Brandon Lee. Oh, Brandon Lee. I thought Brandon Lee, I thought he got killed by that gun. Brandon Lee. Okay, Casimir, or short for, or Kaz for short. You're a legend, mate. Legend back at you, Kaz. I don't get to say that very often, except in the mirror. For those that don't know, at the moment, I'm right now, I'm actually feeling really, really sick. I don't know what's going on. I'm supposed to be going to Kapooka on Friday. I still haven't had any correspondence, not a single message about that. And it was also school holiday, so I'm very, very close to canning that. Yeah. In the transfer, Kaz. Hey, Kaz, Mr. Buckaroo crew were praying for you when you were in hospital, mate. Yeah, Kane, it was very much appreciated. Buckaroo's never been far away, mate. He's been supporting me all the way, mate, and it's very, very much appreciated. I don't know what's going on. Every single day, I feel like I'm sick as a dog. What can you do, mate? Ask yourself this. Here's the question. You've had a little bit of both. Would you rather have really bad voice or really bad medical? What do I mean? Okay, every time I get really sick, whether it be from the back end or the front end, out of the mouth, not when I'm speaking shit, that's probably why I feel sick all the time. I ask myself, God, what are you doing? Are you testing me here? And then I think to myself, have some sort of medical ailment, that makes your life less than perfect. And it's a trial and tribulation to get through that. Or would you rather be the people whose health seems to be as good as a cast iron pot, but they're gamblers, drug addicts, addicted to alcohol, gambling, the womanizing, and everything that destroys the character? You know, you can still be sick as hell and be trusted by everyone and loved by everyone, but it's very hard when the vice kicks in, for you to be tolerated or accepted by anyone. So I'd take being sick any day. People don't choose to be addicted to the vice. There's something that's in their makeup, just like you don't choose to be sick. But if I was going to be dealt the cards of one or the other, I think I'd rather be sick. Not at the moment, but I could deal with being a gambler at the moment rather than feeling the way my guts is. BJJ team, any of the young lads that join now can be proud that you jumped in at a time when he doesn't have the nous. And that's a good point. And at the same time, but doesn't it make the decision to join even easier? Yeah, because the alternative is you're going to be facing all of the different controversies that are happening, but you're going to be in a civilian world, and having some sort of militant HR team that's just waiting for you to say something wrong because you're a white male. Anyway, Delta Bravo, thanks, Kaz, very helpful. Any difference between Kapuka as an officer cadet versus digger? I wouldn't know, mate. Mate, they are changing the goalposts so quickly, but it seems like the only way to fail anymore is to actually give up. And it should never be that easy. I don't believe that anyone should leave Kapuka that is not at the fitness level of the minimum requirement to serve in the Australians, a BFA. Why aren't they passing BFAs before they leave Kapuka? Why are they telling some people that you need to come back, you're not ready yet because of a drink driving charge, but asking, can we now let people in with HIV? There's not a single person in the army that would want people with HIV working beside them, not one. This makes me think the leadership, the only way this could be someone who's high ranking that maybe swings on an LGBT side that may have HIV and they're going to lose their job because of it, or is there someone that they're trying to make allowances for to get someone in the military from a very high place? I don't know. Who is the one who is behind saying HIV should be allowed in the army? Who is it? Put your hand up. Show some courage. Because I dare say the parents have some questions for that individual who wants to put people with HIV beside their child. The one thing I'll say about Australia and about Australian Army, we are a full fucking contact career. I'll say it again. The Australian Army, Air Force and Navy, more Army and Navy, more Army, is a full fucking contact career. Our job is to go and close the enemy, to kill or catch him, to seize and hold ground, to repel attack by day and night, regardless of 4 phases of war: the advance, the attack, the defense, and the withdrawal. Where in there do we want someone that can make multiple casualties by them being a casualty, and then their very body fluids actually become collateral damage or shrapnel to those that work around them? None of that makes sense. No shortcuts to fitness. That's a t-shirt right there. Well done, Smoothie. Combat cop would be cool, but no police experience. Combat cop would be cool. Combat cop would be cool, but no police experience. I'm not actually sure what that means. Combat cop. It's a good name. Good name. Yeah. So, to you young guys and gals out there, if you feel a little bit g'day, concerned Aussie, how you going, mate? If you feel disenfranchised by what you see happening in this world, I can guarantee one thing, and that is when you step into the military, you're going to get all of those things as well that we were speaking about. You're going to get great pay. You're going to get a good superannuation. You're going to get free medical. You're going to get opportunities to really financially get yourself ahead by not worrying about private medical, by having free dental, by having all of the training facilities that you'd normally pay money for. But not just that, the biggest one is time. All of these things happen during your actual daily bread. You get to go away. You get to go out on hit outs like the guys are doing on Austral Shield at the moment. They get to go away, and for 16 days, you might be out there for it, you might be a month, you might go overseas for 6 months, whatever. But you get taken off the mouse wheel, and there'll be times you're bored. There's times where you're begging for a sleep, or a warm bed or coffee. But what it does, it takes you out of the matrix. You to look and say, am I happy with my life? Am I happy with my friends? Am I happy with the decisions that I've made? Because I'm out here at the moment in nature where animals are creeping right up to me, not realizing I was here because I smell the same as them. And then you get to put your life back in order. And if you make some mistakes, you get a chance to rebuild yourself. That's the benefits of the army that doesn't come almost with almost anything. It gives you the chance to rebuild yourself, become another version of yourself. And you're surrounded by people that can also help you out. And what do we got? That grunt. G'day, Kaz. I recently employed and had my careers coach calling today. Going in as infantry, any tips for someone more vertically challenged? Do you mean that you're really, really tall or really? Because that matters. If you're really, really short, you're going to feel like you're living in a mansion in an armored vehicle. If you're really, really tall, okay, then the enemy are going to see you first. No, mate, you just deal with the cards you get and you'll be fine, mate. Alan, I love the candy you make. He went to Heatley Secondary College in Townsville, do year 11, 12 in 1 year in April of that same year, 2009, accepted into RMC. What better signal is there than that? Alan, he went to Heatley, which is, where the single mums used to live in Townsville, secondary college in Townsville to do 11 and year 12 in 1 year in April of that same year, 2009, accepted into RMC. Boom. He just showed you a pathway to success if you didn't think you had it. Well done, Alan. Well done. That's the leadership move right there, and he made the necessary adjustments, and here he is. What have we got, D? How is everyone tonight? I'm crook, but that's okay because, or not, but I love it. I love the fact that Donald Trump survived that assassination attempt. I love the fact that JD Vance is going to be his 100% blue flame vice president. And he is a young man, which gives him plenty of wheels to continue moving on. And I think he's a great man for the job. Common sense is prevailing. Elon Musk has just said $40 million a month going to Trump's campaign. And also, in case you didn't know, all cases that are up against Donald Trump that everyone's been talking about have just been all dropped. There you go. I'll say it again. All of the cases against Donald Trump have just been dropped. So everything you hear anyone talk about, yep, again, he's not guilty. Well done. Venom, congratulations. What have we got? Hey, we got Wingnut up here. Hey, Wingnut made it, buddy, march out in 2 days. There we go. Mate, I haven't had any comments back from any of the comments I've sent to you, mate. So I thought crook or something was going on. Let us know. You need to send a message, mate, because I was about to call it off. Yeah. While I learned new and valuable and knowledgeable things as an officer, my intellect at the time was much as it is now. Effective, absolutely. Alan, it's one of those things as an officer that it's opportunity that decides what we have. When Donald Trump was shot at, imagine what would have happened. It would have rang out around the world if he'd taken cover, laid down there and screamed like that around with a flip-top head. He didn't. He stood up, pumped his fist in the air, and, he was in the moment. And he showed that he had the heart of a lion. And I think he's the right man for the job, and I think he proved it. Regardless of what anyone says, do you know what my conspiracy theory is? Everyone's going, how come he didn't hit? How come he missed? Do you know why I reckon he missed? I'll put it down to, I reckon that roof might have been hot as fuck in Pennsylvania. His tits off and went, rushed the shot, missed, and now his head, looks like a box of pizza shapes. I don't know what happened in his mind, and I'm very sorry for the fire captain that lost his life. For those that don't know, I believe it was a retired fire brigade captain that lost his life. So let's not take away that innocent people lost their lives that day. And whatever happened in that kid's brain, I bet his parents are also asking, how did this happen? And I believe, and my heart goes out to them as well. Hey, Peppers, how you going, mate? I have my commission from the Queen. I love the Queen. And he should get his now from the King. Yes, he will. Smash that like button. I didn't say it. That's what Peppers said. Hot peppers. Hot ass. That grunt. Mate. So, that grunt, 167, that is short as fuck. Yeah. Does it come with anger? Do you get the anger that comes with the short man? But the benefits of getting really short biceps that get really massive really quickly? See, there's benefits. Hey, Jake, there were many small blokes in recon. Being 6'5" made me worry about potential ability to sneak around. Yeah, Jake, when you're 6'5", everyone's short. Sorry, Friday, buddy. Yeah, Wingy, I just want to know if I'm on the list, mate, because otherwise I go down there and they're going to say, sorry, mate, you're not on any list. Yeah, and it's school holidays too. So I've got to give up days with my daughter to come down there. What else we got? Will psychological history with mental health destroy my opportunity in the Army or RAF? Yes, it probably will affect it. Will it destroy it? I don't know. But what I recommend to anyone, if you have an ailment, if you have a situation, if you have a hurdle, then what you should do is either jump onto the bat phone, so that we can actually get some context to what you're talking about, or can completely go through with the actual enlistment process and let them decide. No one else. Let all that in their hands make the decision. Otherwise, what could end up happening is you might ultimately think, oh, what's the point, when you might have got in the first place? And this might be the very tool that you need to be the best version of you for the next 50 years. So don't sell yourself short, because quite often people have something, a mental fissure or lapse that's been caused by something that would do that to anyone. It's the danger of going to some people and getting diagnosed with things, that puts it on paper, but then prevents and creates problems in the future. I'm not saying don't go to a doctor if you've got a problem. Sorry, mate, I got to fly. Have a good night, mate. Concerned Aussie, no problems. God bless the USA. Bando Lee, yep, I look at everything as positive. Everything is positive. There's negativities everywhere, absolutely everywhere. But if we bask in those, guess what? Life just becomes negative, doesn't it? Life's going to get negative enough as you get older and the people that you hang around with start disappearing. The girls that you used to like start to look like, who the hell is she now? And your money might not always be where you want it to be. And you might look back and think the box of no longer attainable because of you've either let yourself go or opportunities have been missed. Here we go. But yeah, Beck Cash is a question. Do military police engage with infantry units on deployments, or are they mainly posted in Australia? Now, they go on every deployment. I've never had military police work alongside me. I don't want military police alongside me. I've got the powers of arrest wherever I go. It's called, or a greater term you're probably used to is a prisoner of war. But when you're not at war, they've got to call it something else, don't they? Military police have a whole bunch of jobs. They're not cops. Okay, they're not cops. Get that out of your mind. They've got jobs with police, sure, with the civil community. They have jobs as close protection units to VIPs. Okay, they've got jobs as guides for convoys, etc. They've got attack dogs, etc. The one thing they've just very rarely got is a smile on their face. Yep, that's all. Evans non-combat role, I'm unbreakable. That's great to see. Great to see. Let's go down here. Green Cobra, get up. Wannabe Doug, one of the favourite people that has ever walked into our channel. I'm not going to give away where he is. Hey, Kaz, glad to catch a live stream. Just finished a big study session, exhausted but loving life. Hope you are well. Guys and gals, if you saw the trajectory of this young man on what he's done and what he's achieved in a very short period of time, you'd let him be on here instead of me. What a great guy. What a great family man who's wrapped up everything, you know, and then put a neat bow on it. Mate, I can't wait to talk to you again, Doug. I can't wait. Man, and I hope the family and the kids are well as well, buddy. You know, just give me a green thumb or some sort of way of saying, are you kicking goals? Are you still? Let us know. It's easy to call him Doe instead of Doug. Green Cobra. Hey, Kaz, are you good? No, not really, mate. Not really. I never get to sleep, really. And it's nearly 2 years now, and I think there's something wrong that they haven't found, to tell you the truth, mate, because the medication doesn't seem to be really doing what's going on. Delta Bravo, mate, confused by your Patreon. Does it matter which company or legion we join? Delta Bravo, you go to the Black Legion. If you go to Patreon team, the Black Legion, go on there. It's because it's been going for years, team. So we used to have all the different groups, so people had a choice of the colour. Taste the rainbow. But the Black Legion, jump on there, mate. And the next few days, I've got nothing but time to talk to you, and I look forward to hearing your life journey. And let's be part of that together, because I tell you, by having the Patreon, ultimately what's happened, it has allowed some people to become super, super subscribers, where they've actually now transformed themselves more into friends than what they were ever a YouTube subscriber. You know, and it's amazing to be surrounded by so many people who are so optimistic and so intent on making their life the best life, you know, and seeing them take their family along on these journeys. Pardon me, like the kid we're talking about, change the life and his future forever. You know, so the pleasure is always mine, mate. Absolutely. Yeah, mate, be epic. Just trying to think, what was your last comment? What was your last comment? Thanks for, I'm not sure what we're talking about. I'm sorry. Want to be Doug, mate? No problems, man. You and I have had some really big conversations, you know, and you're a special guy, you know, and I like to point out special people when I can. There you go. Here we are. Flossie 2. Now you're making me feel like I need to be getting in there with a toothpick. Okay, so I smashed my defense interview. Thanks for all your help. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. You know what? You know, I've been getting nothing but except for one bloke, you know, who I thought was going to smash it. And he just made an admission about a drink driving case that he had once. And for that, they've held him up. And that was the same day that it came out about HIV now being allowed. And I was just perplexed and confused. I know everyone's an individual case, but it should make sense. It should make sense. Okay. BJJ team, hey Kaz, can you tell me how Agi would stack up against infantry career-wise? Looks like pseudo-infantry. All right. This is one of those times where I've got to be honest, team. I've got to be honest, because that's what I do. Hey, I just see you. I'm getting down to your comment in a second, mate. Thank you very, very much, sir. And I'll be coming down. And guys, D is not Sandra D from Greece. It's an actual man, a big man. I'll just answer this question. I'll be with you. Hey, Kaz, can you tell me how Agi would stack up against infantry career? You can do Agi forever, because you're not going to be in any danger, mate. And if you are, it's going to be from special forces. The only way you're going to know you're in danger is because your mate's got a crossbow bolt in the neck, you know, or some Dagestan weapon systems like Julius Caesar. I don't think they've got a hell of a lot in common with infantry at all, mate. I think it's an awesome career. If your background is RAF, you're the toughest guys in the Air Force. I get that. But in saying that, I don't think you're ever going to be tested, mate. I think he's just going to be rinse and repeat, hanging around a rectangle that has already been secured by special forces and infantry, and then handed over to you when it's too safe. We go off to go to borders and then go to other AOs, TAOs, etc., and leave you back with the echelon. So I think it's a great place if you want, if you want to have a life of fitness, and wearing the Air Force uniform. Otherwise, I'd say go to infantry, mate. Go to infantry. Black Legion got it, says Delta Bravo. Pleasure to have you here, mate. I look forward to talking to you, my man. Green Cobra, sorry to hear it, mate. It's the way it is, mate. As long as my daughter is healthy, I'm okay, mate. Hope you fella and all. I've been squeaky wheel with recruiting office, but getting radio silence. I got hold of someone, and from this explanation, looks as though my preferences might be the issue. Okay, Duffy, what you need to do is go back in and you need to look at the ADF website and see, is there a priority role on the roles you're looking for? Tell us now, what are they? Hey, Kaz, how different is armoured vehicle crew from infantry? Very different in the fact that the vehicle crew are there to protect just that vehicle. Now, if you're talking about, for example, mechanised and motorised, and you're saying, but infantry are the same as armoured crew, they're just in the back. Yeah, but they can be completely dislocated and never see those vehicles again. What you can ultimately do is end up with the vehicles being completely separated to a dismounted call sign, and then that becomes part of manoeuvre as well, not just fighting beside each other, protecting each other, but as the combined arms manoeuvre team, they can be going on choppers and then getting re-tasked to do something else, not just defile drills for armoured vehicles. It's how we can double the amount of fighting call signs on the ground at any given time. Whereas the armoured vehicle crew, they don't go and do a dismounted course that goes for 16 weeks just to be that dismounted fighting element. Okay? But if you told me you were 25 years old, I'd be thinking, ooh, maybe armoured corps. Okay? If you were 19 years old, I'd say go infantry. That's because it's all about establishing that warrior ethos around people, a lot of people the same as you, and using each other for collective excellence. And I think you get more of the mateship, the less responsibility, more larrikinism, more World War I relationship by joining infantry rather than going to a smaller team in armoured corps where there is discrimination. And the commander that is separated normally by one has family and children, the other one is the driver, etc. So there's a maturity difference as well, and a rank difference naturally. So D is saying here, not too cow, you can buy a lot of raw chicken for $20. He's throwing a Hare Krishna $20 donation to the channel. Just show my support for the channel, mate. Thank you for what you do, D. It's one of these things that it gives me mission, it gives me purpose. Like Wingy is now 54 years old in Kapuka, thought that his time had gone. Most people would have said, no, you're 54, you're 36 years beyond the age that the calling should have called you. But he chose wisely. He trained goddamn hard. He's a lovely bloke, and his heart is in the right place. And this is the last job he's ever going to have, he claims. And if I can see him on Friday, it's going to be an absolute pleasure, because I know it's going to mean probably more to him than someone who's 19, because he didn't expect to get this opportunity either, I don't think. And having lost his father, very recently, it's I think he's doing this for his dad, and I think his dad is watching him. Yeah. Legendary Cadet, AMCU, want to be Doug. The RAF, ADGI, wear AMC uniform, Army uniform. Yep, they do. They're not bad people, just they listened to a louder captain at the time and it said RAF. It might have been their dad. I meant the graduation day close, I think. Graduation day, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, it makes sense. Very inviting. Adds two. We're going to get out of here in a second, team, because I'd like to keep this under an hour if I can, so it doesn't scare the shit out of people. Can we get some thanks there as well to Senior D? He's always here. You know, he's a confident man. You know, and he always likes to support our channel. You know, and when you communicate with him, absolute pleasure. This man is not a pushover. He's no simp. He's a real guy with the Warriors outlook. You know, and when you get on the phone with a lot of these guys, you realize it's a two-way conversation. It's not just a mentoring session. I get so much for it, you know, and I get so much wealth of listening to great Australians. And that's where a lot of my frustration for the left comes from. Because I see great people that love their country, that love people, that persevere despite the fact that they're being judged for their views, or who wouldn't help or protect anyone. You know, so hats off to yourselves. Listen, look at this tonight. I've been on for 55 minutes and 29 seconds. And not only have I had great advice by people like Cassie, okay, and that who are saying, hey, Kaz, there's a problem with what's going on at the moment, and Mark, what's going on with your stream. No, but there hasn't been a single troll, a single troll. I've been talking about Trump. I've been talking about army. I've been talking about officers, and not a single troll. Go online and see any live stream where that doesn't happen. You really should be happy. You know, you're here in a really good place. I'm just saying thanks for being so honest to all your listeners. Alan, mate, Alan Kaz, wait a sec. My thanks to you was about being a soldier in Townsville. Okay, and studying at Heatley and becoming an officer. Townsville's a great place, mate. It is a great place, and I miss the Cactus Jacks. But that's waiting for all the guys about to put their uniforms on. Kaz, do you know by chance know if the Australian Defence Force have articles for, say, misconduct on base, or is that an American thing? Look, we definitely do. We definitely do, but that's the judicial system. Yeah. And here's a guy, infantry, now doctor. Okay. It's great what you do, Kaz. Keep it up. That's what she said. You know, this is a guy, when you go, you cannot help but learn. You know, he stays non-political and just spits the facts, just spits them out, but in a masculine way. It's great. Okay, Duffy says first preference was roll full, check after the call. Second, not full, but not priority. Okay, there's your answer, mate. There's your answer. You know, they're after the priority rolls, trying to get them full. Because remember, it's not just that we've got people that are actually getting out because of the cycle, not necessarily because there's anything wrong with the army. You know, but it's also peacetime, but it's also because they're trying to expand how many people are in the army. So it can look like there's problems that aren't necessarily there. Wingnut, I'm 48, Hedon Kapuka probably close to 49. Any hot jungle tips for us old foxes? Be yourself, mate. Just be yourself, Delta Bravo. That's all you need to do. Tom of the Jungle, here's a fantastic OG. Cheers, Kaz. Good to see you looking well. I'm looking better, but I'm feeling like shit, my man. I really am. Thanks, D. Look at all the legends. Zach is in the best community, I reckon. I reckon so, mate. I do reckon so. Venom says he loves the channel, loves his country. Keep up the great work, team. And that's right. It's not just me. It's a team, yeah? Okay, so I've got my aptitude results and I'm eligible for every role. Amazing. I want to go into the infantry. My career is this wise. Jimbo, you're already on the phone. Let's have a phone call, mate. Let's get to it as soon as we possibly can. Look out, it's PTSD here. Lang's Hotel, yep. Mad Cow or Tats, Molly Malone's. I was a Mad Cow guy. Lang's and Tats, Mad Cow and Tats was the 2RR and 2-4 bars. You know, Lang's was always 1RR. Molly Malone's, I think that was anyone's. Hey, Scotty, how you going, mate? Okay, just getting through these now, team. Okay, Legionary Cadet asking, but like, is it possible to go from enlisted to an officer? Yes, but that normally happens when you get to the rank of sergeant, you know, or you've been identified as a section commander, you know, by an officer that's saying you have officer potential. I suggest that you make the skip over. Yep. Scotty, I'll have to rewatch this one. Just dropped my son off. It was great to see him, but he has to go back to Darwin and back to being a soldier, and we're very proud of him. We'll say his first name. No, we won't because you got your last name on there, Scotty. But a lot of pride in that family, and even though Scotty's chips are down at times, that man is always upbeat. Tom of Jungle, at least you don't have 5.56 ear piercing. There we go. Aaron, Aaron. Hey, Kaz, got medical tomorrow. Should be a breeze. Can't wait. Have you heard of the organisation Red Sticks for Vets? Highly recommend. Definitely check it out, guys and gals. I haven't heard of it. No, I think I've heard of it, but I don't really get time to go and listen to a lot of podcasts. So I'm either making something, looking after my daughter, or rolling over listening to Rome and wondering why I can't sleep. Legendary Cadet, yeah, mate, plenty of diggers who choose officer role just need a referral from a officer to transfer to Duntroon. Of course, that requires yourself to be switched soldier. And it also means you've got to have a very clean field record, that you're not peer pressure driven, that you're not a dick, etc. We've gone past the hour. We've blown it. We might as well talk for a few more minutes then, eh? Hey, Cass and Chat, what is your overall experience in the 4 years of service would you recommend joining? If so, what tips do you have? This is a great question, Caleb. Hey, Kaz and Chat, what is your overall experience in 4 years? Well, I believe that it takes you 4 years to know your job. I believe it takes 4 years to know your job. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this out there. Johnny Diggs, it'd be interesting to think what you think on this one as well as Delta Bravo. I believe if someone was to say to me, what is a veteran soldier? What is a veteran? I would say that is someone who has or hasn't done operations, but has finished 4 years service. Okay? So even if you haven't done operations, you've finished 4 years service, the tenure, done 4 years, you are looking right down the barrel of promotion. You are private P. You probably have support company experience and definitely support company courses. You've had opportunities to go for special forces, have or haven't taken them. You're getting very close to being a section commander, being in charge of 7 other soldiers in a tactical environment that are all volunteers and ready to go to war. Okay. Once you go beyond your tenure of 4 years, I believe you can class yourself as a veteran. Anything before that, no, you're not, unless you've been overseas. Because then what you've got is compressed experience, 26 months in a row with the infantry hat badge, okay, and in unit also earning, sorry, Miss Jane, skip your badge, followed by, okay, the, infantry combat badge. So what it means is, like Trump, when he got shot at the other day, you're a tested commodity. We know exactly who you are and we know exactly what you are at the end of 4 years. If you're not a tested commodity, which means you've only been in and done training, gap year, etc., there's no way you can be classed as a veteran. You can't. You haven't even got your blue book complete yet of qualifications. You can't be a veteran. Is the officer role less hands-on than infantry? Absolutely, because they are, the officer is the coordinator. They are, go long. They're the fullback. They're the quarterback, or the fullback. That's what their job is to do, is to watch the play, read it, and then coordinate from there. The actual, the soldier is the verb. He's, and the adjective. Describe him, give him the action, send him off. Is the officer role less? Yeah, the officer's weapon is his mind. Tom of the Jungle might take 4 years to learn your job, but if you're in trade, you're forever learning, especially with the introduction of new land fleet and capabilities. Talk of Hawkeyes replacing G-Wagons. Yeah, we've got a lot of our Army Reserve have already got their hands on with the Hawkeyes, and they love them because they look cool, but they're for reconnaissance, yeah. But there is some amazing amount of money getting spent on some amazing hardware. I think the only place where Australia is really dropping the ball a little bit is on their HR with some of the humans that they're letting in who are quitting at record rates. We're going to quickly go to Kapuka here for a second before we go back to Jimbo. Delta Bravo, get fit, stretch, and know how to get over any small injuries without medical help. Absolutely. Because Wingy, he knows that once you bring up an injury, you don't have a choice anymore. There's a difference between being sore and being injured. If you are actually injured, they're going to take you out of training, automatic back squat. Okay? And that's there for you to give you the best chance, of success. You're going to try and hang on to that old platoon like it's an umbilical cord, but their job is to train you and not hurt you. Hey, Kaz, came in late on tonight's live. We'll watch this again tomorrow. Always good to listen to you and the team's comments and get heaps of info. Thanks as always. Jimbo, it's always my pleasure, mate. It absolutely is. There's 2 Jimbos tonight in the chat. Can we get some thumbs up for this old bastard wingnut? 54 years old, at Kapuka, about to march out on Friday. Fantastic guy. Had his back at the cherry. As happy as a Cheshire cat on a windowsill in summer. This guy's chosen action over words, and now he's been paid for his hard work. I'm sure he's got some amazing stories, and it's going to be exciting. What do we got? BJJ team. I completely broke myself not quitting from injuries. Yeah. The problem is sometimes, it's a completely different thing in the Army because you cannot hide some injuries. They will come out regardless. I'm going to leave you off with a quick story, a devastating story. Okay, and this is, again, about a young man named Jeremy Williams. Rest in peace, He lost his life because he came in unprepared to the Australian Army. He was in my, hey, Kai boy, how you going, mate? He was in my very first section when I was an instructor. When I met Jeremy, he was on his first hit out. We went and did a 10-kilometre pack march. Now, Jeremy was a beautiful kid, a great kid, very happy, big smiles, etc. We started the pack march. He started to fall back immediately, and this is going somewhere. He had an injury. We didn't know about it at the time, and neither did he. He'd been vetted by the PDIs. They'd said, is there any injuries or ailments that may prevent you from giving your best in today's pack march, so we can see how your gear fits you and how you respond to said pack march at the speed of a platoon. So Jeremy started falling back. Yep. And I got over to him, and initially, what's going on, son? Catch up. What are you doing? You fall back 100 meters, and then you go exactly the same speed as the group you can't keep up with, which tells me you can keep up with it. What's the problem? He's going, okay, of course it is. It's your first ever 10-kilometre pack march. Get up there now. Okay. He catches up there, falls back again. This went on for kilometres. And I'm going, mate, if your foot was that bad, you wouldn't be able to walk at all. You can do it. Get up there, stay up there. This is your last chance, or back squad. Simple as that. I'm cutting you away. He catches up, falls back. I'm going, that's it, done. Okay, you're done. I'm back squatting you. So Jeremy Williams falls out. Okay, no worries. The paperwork's done. He's getting back squatted. Goes to the RAP, which we send you to if you say the ailment. And it turns out he had a stress fracture in his foot. Shit. Okay, so he was injured. And he was trying to fight through it. And he was doing more damage to his foot, the young man. God bless his soul. Now, Jeremy got back squatted, and he was in holding platoon. And then we went to, and some of you may have heard this before, and then we went to a Mundine fight. That was when he still had abs, and there wasn't photos of him with his eyes wide open. He was knocked out on the canvas. And we were in a bar in Singleton, and it was Thursday night where the soldiers were allowed to go out for 3 hours, and at that time, they were even allowed to have a couple of beers. And they were allowed to go out and have a couple of beers just on. And Jeremy Williams comes over to me because the staff and the soldiers don't drink in the same area, and that makes common sense. Now, he came over to me and said, yeah, Corporal. I said, don't have to call me Corporal when we're in here, mate. You can call me Kaz until we get out of here. He goes, okay, no worries. And he goes, I'm just letting you know you back squatted me, and I understand why. And although I'm injured, I'll be back better soon, and I'm going to be the best soldier in that platoon. I said, that's great to bloody hear, mate. And now just prove it to me. Just do it. I've got faith in you. I know you can do it. All the best, mate. And then he went back over to the group of people because he wasn't psychologically ready for this either. And we're getting to that. His dad was Navy. So he went back over to his mates, and then he started to get a little bit of a dick around his buddies, and then I had to go over to them and say, mate, grab your buddy and fuck off home. Because at the moment, you're either going to get knocked out by some of the 130-kilo miners that are in the same pub, while we're watching a boxing match. Not recommended to young men to go and watch boxing in a grown man's pub. It gets pretty fiery pretty quickly. He goes home. Something happened between getting home where he rang his girlfriend and she hadn't answered or something. He broke up with her on the phone. A situation occurred where someone else told him to pull his fucking head in. He gobbed off and got smacked, apparently. Okay. Ultimately, the next day we get to work and we get told, everyone, get over here now. I had to go and have an interview because I was I'd spoken to him the night before. No, I didn't have an interview, and I ended up having someone very, very high from Canberra who I actually rang up and said, I know all about this case, and no one's ever interviewed me, and I don't know why. But anyway, it turns out that Jeremy Williams decided everything was going to shit and took his own life, but in the slowest possible way because he was unsuccessful with his first attempt, and then realised and then was successful. And all of the evidence was that he regretted his decision while it was occurring. So sadly, this guy went in psychologically not prepared, physically tried to cover an injury. It got worse. When that all came together, add alcohol, fractured relationship, done. We've lost a beautiful soul. So that's why it's that we do what we can to protect the mind and to protect the bodies of these young men, and never forget they're not just a soldier, a plaything for us to treat like shit. They're a volunteer, they're someone's son, they're someone's daughter, and they're the future. Now, the reason why I get so upset with what happened for Donald Trump, because I'm trying to relate this, is people aren't upset as much that as Donald Trump the man, but it's Donald Trump the hope. When the entire fabric of everything that you hold in your value system, you're getting told it's wrong, and then someone comes up and says, no, you're wrong. And this might be the only person you've actually ever heard speaking, using their own money to say, I'm here to make the difference, to take the arrows for you. And then you see people try to take them out. That means that someone's trying to take your hope away from you. You've got to stand for something. Don't be afraid to say where your passions lead, but be able to communicate what your passions are when someone says, where did that come from? I don't agree. Or why do you do that? People should be able to explain their position, and it should make sense, and it should be compelling, and it should not be nihilistic. Anyway, guys and gals, I stand for the great truth. I stand for the nation, and I believe that I'd be great for the village if it was 100 people, just like I am for the village now. There's 27 million people. I'm looking out for you today, and I'm looking out for the people that don't realise that they need help, and they're not as they think tomorrow. So with your help, we can make micro differences everywhere we go, as little nodes of hope and success to family, to teams, to yourself, to your legacy, to your future, and to your children that are not yet born. So to Wingnut, I'll be seeing you on Friday. And to everyone else, thank you very much for what you do, for what you contribute mentally, financially, and the time, which is the most important resource of all, is it not? You choose action, others choose words. Thank you for those actions. I'm going to press the end stream right now, and I absolutely appreciate the actions that have been taken by this 17-year-old kid to make a difference to his life, and one day he's going to realise just how much he made. Thank you, team. Thank you, girls and boys. Never give up, guys. We're all Aussie battlers. Yep, and that's what Australians are the best at, not giving up, doing more with less. Same with our Kiwi brothers. See you later, guys. See you later, girls. God bless Australia. MAGA, make Australia great again. It's everyone's effort to do that, or it should be. See you later, Fresh Prince. See you later, D and Jake. Bye.